Sometimes in life we just suffer. Sometimes it's from being totally withdrawn, or so much stress that we are totally anxious, or so tired that we are totally burnt out. But our current position is not our final destination. No, indeed. There's hope. So whether it's your personal life, your career, your relationship, your business, or your job, we say there's reason to believe again. And we present from Andy's personal development, the breakout room. It's the place for health, happiness, and prosperity. Stay tuned for more.
Welcome, one and all, to this episode of Andy's Personal Development live in the breakout room. We have a guest who's going to be with us, sharing his expertise, his knowledge, and his information on the following topic, which is entitled, What Got You Here Won't Get You There with Pramoda. So, before we introduce our guest, let me just remind you that we are here to build a community of people that are looking for intentionality, clarity, and purpose in life. And we are your partners in that process of growth and development. So whether it's your personal life, your career, your business, your job, or your relationship, whatever help you need on, you reach that crossroads that you need to go to that next place, we can help you, take you, show you the opportunities that are available for clarity, intentionality, and purpose. So Pramoda is a former leader at Meta and Oracle, and now a leadership coach, author, and a course creator. He's the founder of Chage Smith Coaching LLC and has a rich background in computer science and boasts over 2 decades of experience with tech giants like Oracle and Meta. Without further ado, let's present our guest live in the breakout room, Pramoda. Welcome.
Thank you, Andy. I'm so excited to be here on the show.
It's a pleasure to have you, and we appreciate you and the content and the information that we're going to share and enjoy sharing together. So tell us a bit about your background, where you came from, and how you get into the development of where you are as an individual, because I believe you have so much to offer, a wide genre of hats that you hold as an individual. Very talented, I'm sure. But where did it all begin for you, Pramoda?
Absolutely. I am originally from India, currently live in the US. I'm in San Francisco Bay Area in California, but originally born in India. I lived in India until 2015. My background has been in the tech world. I was a software engineer 21 years ago. That was my career to begin with. Very soon in the first 3 years, I realized what got me there would not get me to the future.
Right.
I had my own challenges in communication and leadership as an engineer. Overcoming that helped me realize that in the process, I was able to help other people. My passion relied in helping other people discover their potential and grow. As I grew as a manager and a large organizational leader, I also developed this passion for helping other people through coaching and mentoring.
Right.
So for about 21 years, I worked in the industry, but along the line, I always had somebody to coach, somebody to mentor in my life. I built this passion as well as skills for mentoring and helping others. So after 21 years, I took a break. I said, okay, let me take a 2-year career break, do something on my own to experiment. What if I take this as a profession, helping and growing other people, and earn income through a business of coaching and leadership development? That is where I am. I'm on a currently 2-year break to experiment these things, including publishing a book, and I'm loving my life.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Pramoda. We appreciate that, and we continue to appreciate you. So we're going to focus a bit on the book that you have written, and it's interesting that you have presented it with that kind of title. I'm going to put it up on the screen so that folks can see exactly what we are speaking about and have a fair understanding of what your message is. It's beyond your limits. It says this book is a must read for anyone looking to grow radically and achieve more than they ever thought possible. Wow. So that's a comment from Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, New York Times bestselling author of What Got You Here Won't Get You There. Tell us a bit about the book and why did you come up with the term or the title Beyond Your Limits?
Yeah. This all started way back in 2003 when I was an engineer. I was struggling to grow. I had a couple of personal loss in the family. My father passed away and my grandfather passed away within 2 years' time.
Wow. Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a mild depression back then, and I did not realize there was no label called depression back then. I was not
Hmm.
enjoying my life. My life had no meaning. Later, I discovered John Goddard, who is the world's greatest adventurer. He lived his life through goals. You
Hmm.
can read his book on Amazon. It's called The Lost
Yeah.
Survivor. I was
Yeah.
impressed by what he did. I listed my own goals in my life. I remember the day, October 2023, or 21 years ago. I wrote about 5 goals in my life to begin with. And when I wrote the goals, my only thought was whatever was my limit, I wanted to go beyond my limits. I'll give you a
Yeah.
couple of examples. One is I was afraid to stand up in public and speak. That was my limit.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
wanted to go beyond that limit. I was afraid of water. I was scared of swimming. I added that as my goal to learn swimming. So all the goals I set myself was, to lose weight. I was about 50 pounds overweight. I lost all of it, all the extra weight.
Wow.
So I was 90 kilos back then. Right now I'm about 68, roughly 50 pounds I lost in the process. So all of these limits I had in myself that I'm not an athlete. I ran a full marathon in under 4 hours. I never thought I could do these things. All these limitations I had on myself, I kept breaking those limits one by one. And hence the book's name is Beyond Your Limits. I am proposing to my audience that by setting goals, setting stretch goals, you can go beyond your limits and you will achieve things that you never thought possible. That is the promise and the premise of the book.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Pramoda. That's really deep and wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So, in terms of the content of the book, you made a bold promise in the book that we all can achieve growth, happiness, and meaning with goals. And you just said it to yourself. How can you help someone, guide someone to understand this possibility and have it as a realistic experience for them from your expertise and from your experience?
What I've done, Andy, is the book has a series of questions after each chapter. I present to people various domains of my life. I present health, relationship, fitness, performance, improving in job, doing something you're passionate about. I present all those different goals in the book, my own goals. I talk about the goal, the journey to the achievement, and the difficulties I faced during the goal. And toward the end, I give them questions to reflect on their own goals. The idea is by the end of the book, each reader would have their own personal goals, 5 to 10 goals that they want to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years. That is the goal of the book. The moment they finish the book, they will have at least 5 goals that they want to go after in various domains of their life, of their choosing, whether it is
Mhm.
health, fitness, relationship, making more money, enjoying their job, growing in their job, or starting a company. No matter what they want to do, goals are the way to do it because now you have a focus, you have a compass towards your life, and you can follow your plan as opposed to following other people's plan on social media or looking at other people's success. You can create a blueprint for yourself that you'll be proud of.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. It sounds like a plan. I appreciate that. So, in terms of the book, and I want to stay with the book for a little bit,
Mhm.
you have a chapter on saying no to TV. And that's really, I mean, amazing to put that out there. But tell us the depth about that and why is it so important for people to be able to have the will to say no to TV?
This was initially just my choice in 2003 when I stopped watching
Uh-huh.
television 21 years ago. It was my choice. It was easy. I
Yeah.
was single, nothing to worry. When we got married, my wife and I proposed to her that for the first 90 days, let's not
Yeah.
watch television, no television at home.
Yeah.
And every day we will do something fun together as a couple. If you
Yes.
don't like that lifestyle, we can buy a television. That was the original plan. In those 90 days, she enjoyed our lifestyle of not having a television. There was so much time for each other, doing what we love doing. There was so much personal time to be with each other. We realized that we are the heroes in our life. We do not
Wow.
need to celebrate other heroes on the screen. Our life,
Wow.
we are the main character. We are the heroes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even today, my son is about, he's in seventh grade, 13 years age right now. He's a teenager. We don't have a television at home. We
Mm-hmm.
watch some Netflix shows on the weekend so that he is relevant to his
Right.
friends in school. We watch some
Mm-hmm.
shows, but we choose when to watch and what to watch, how much to watch. So the choice is with us, my family, not with the television when it wants to switch on. Like we want to choose when to watch and what to watch. By doing this simple change, our life has become so much better. We have so much time with each other as a family to understand, to play with each other, to have fun. The depth of meaning in relationship is much more because we have a lot of time together as a family.
Wow. I wonder, Promoter, how many people would see it from that perspective? Because a lot of people think that, oh, if I should do that, then I am basically shutting out parts of the world.
Uh-huh.
But then the way you put it, being able to recognize that you don't need any external person or individuals to be your hero. You could be your own heroes. And then you place so much value on your time, being able to control your time and not your time being controlled by television.
Uh-huh.
How do you get people as your clients, if it's possible, to even see it from that perspective? Is that part of what you do from your coaching perspective?
I definitely bring the element. I leave the choice to them because everybody has
Right.
the
Yeah.
privilege of choice,
Yeah.
what they want in
Yeah.
their life. But we certainly discuss how these external inputs are taking away their time. Many
Yeah.
people who are my clients, they struggle with phone. Forget about
Mhm.
television. They always are looking at the screen more than 6 hours a day. Then we discuss, okay, how many hours you're spending on your phone, and let's look at the goals you have. What goals you have in your life? How do we move your minutes from the screen to your own life? That is the discussion. Then we
Yeah.
compare both. Let's look at the list of goals you have for you, the goals that fulfill you in your life. Then look at the time you have, the extra time you're allocating to screens, small screen to big screen. Then we cut down what is possible and achieve those time slots for their personal goals. Initially, they are hesitant, they think it's unusual, but when they realize the value of it, they attempt it for a few weeks. They realize the true value in relationship. They find meaning in their relationship. They cook together, they eat together, they have more family
Mm.
time, they go for walks, they go
Yeah.
swimming with their children. There is so much fun. When they
Yes.
realize they are the heroes in their own life, there is no external hero required. It can be used for inspiration, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to watch their story for 6 hours a day and enjoy that. You can enjoy your own life, is the message they get through the coaching and one-to-one relationship.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, in terms of the name that you have chosen, Change Smith Coaching, what does it mean, and why did you choose that name?
It's funny you ask the name. Most people ask that name the moment they see the company. They ask that name.
Uh
Think
huh.
of the words like blacksmith, goldsmith, and wordsmith.
Yes.
So they are specialists in some field. If you look
Mm-hmm.
at my life, the way I came from India, moving to the United States, writing a book, and all the things I've done in my 21 years, my skill is changing
All right.
myself, changing my thoughts and behaviors.
Yeah.
My promise to my clients is you can change as well. You can be skilled in changing your thoughts and behaviors. That is the reason I kept the company name as Change Smith, as a hope that every person can change their thoughts and behaviors consciously. That is the
Mm-hmm.
promise of my company.
Yeah. Good. And while we are looking at that, what are some of the challenges that you experience with your clients that come to you, and you know you need to get them now to have a mindset of looking at change? What are some of the challenges that they face with that aspect of making these changes?
My audience is technology professionals, primarily
Hmm.
engineers and technical experts and
Hmm.
managers from the engineering world.
Yeah.
When I work with them, the common challenges are two. One is clarity of what they want,
Yeah.
what exactly they want in the next 10 years in their career and life. That is missing. They're so busy with their job, they never get time to reflect on their personal goals. That's challenge number one. Challenge number two is also understanding other people's perspective. My audience is extremely talented, intelligent, they're so good in their area, but they don't know how to understand other people, which is collaborative skill, becoming a leader, influencing. That's the other gap I see in my clients. These two are my biggest challenges when I work with them. How do you get clarity on your goals? Second, how can you be a collaborative leader? Those are the two aspects I see most common in my clients in the last 18 months.
Mm. And how do you actually practically apply the things that you have learned to help them to deal with these challenges? What techniques or methods do you actually use?
Absolutely. Especially when it comes to being a collaborative leader, we do a couple of things. The first step is self-awareness, in the sense each
Hmm.
individual know what their strengths are, where they're really doing well, where they're struggling, which relationships. We do an audit of their own self-awareness. What do they know about their collaborative other people, like cross-functional leaders? We do a reflection on those people. The second aspect of that is we do a 360 feedback, anonymous 360 feedback, where people who are their partners, cross-functional partners in the organization, they provide feedback on what's great with this person, what they could improve in leadership behaviors.
Right.
We then club these two, self-awareness as well as other people's perception. That gives us an indication of where this person is going, where they need to change, which behaviors need to be modified to reach their goals.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. I want to go back to the book a bit. There's something stirring in the back of my mind in terms of the goals. What is the feedback that you have gotten from people who have read the book? What are they saying to you with regards to the way in which you set up the goals and the achieving of the goals in the publication?
One common feedback I have been getting is the book is extremely relatable. In fact, I have
Mm,
a friend at Google. He's an engineering leader at Google in the US. He
yeah,
said, if you look at my book, there are 52 goals I list in the book.
yeah.
He jokingly said the first 10 goals, the first 10 to 12 goals, they might be relevant to everybody
Mm-hmm,
because they talk about confidence, communication skill, leadership. They talk about losing weight, staying fit. Those are
mm-hmm,
common goals across the world. Wherever you go,
yeah,
people want to be healthy and fit, they want to be confident, they want to enjoy
yeah.
their job, and so on.
Uh-huh.
So the common feedback I've been getting is the book is extremely relatable. Regardless of which country, which background, how many years of experience they have, the book is able to connect with my audience. That has been the common feedback so far.
Okay. And have you had the opportunity of doing any live book talks where you can actually respond to people's questions or concerns or comments and actually share your personal experience live with them face to face?
It's interesting you asked this question, Andy. I don't have the opportunity yet in terms of these live
Ah,
questions. What I'm
ah,
doing right now is I am creating a 7 week course based on my book. So what's happening is people who have loved the book, they are the ones who are registering for the course. The course starts in October. It's a 7 week course. We meet on 7 Saturdays. We go through my 7 step framework, one step every week. And we go into details of how I achieved my goals, how they can achieve their goals through this simple, sustainable 7 step framework.
yeah. And it's interesting. 52 goals. There are 52 weeks in the year. That's ironic.
It is.
Did you leave out any promoter, and what prompted you to leave it at 52?
It was, in fact, more than 60 goals,
Uh-huh.
but two reasons. One is brevity. I wanted brevity. The editor said there are too many goals. I think we need to switch to the lessons, not only the goals. So I
Okay.
had to cut about 8 goals. I thought of 52 because there are 52 weeks in a year.
Mm-hmm.
The other number I had was 42, which is the
Mm-hmm.
number of kilometers in a full marathon.
Okay.
So I thought of two numbers, either 42, which is a significant number for a full marathon, or 52, which is, 42 or 52. I
Mm-hmm.
chose 52 because I wanted to cover more goals, more expansive goals,
Yes.
broader set of life domains, as well as
Mm-hmm.
a number that is some significant number, which is number of weeks in a year.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. So you emphasize a lot on coaching.
Mhm.
How has coaching helped you, and do you have any specific mentors or persons that you seek out to, that still voice that helps you make better choices, better decisions about yourself? How important is coaching for you in your personal development as an individual who have achieved a certain level of success?
If you look at anybody who wants to improve their life, improve themselves, become better in any domain of life, we all have intentions, Andy. But
Mm-hmm.
when you have a coach with us, the intention becomes a clear direction and
Yeah.
action.
Okay.
So people who are really passionate about converting that intention to action, they're the ones who look for accountability in a coach or a mentor. I have been blessed to have great mentors at work, both Oracle and Meta, who did not get any money because they were doing it for pro bono. I also have hired many paid coaches in my last 15, 16 years of my career. If you look at the latest one as well, I've got two coaches. One helped me write the book, which is Dr. Eric Maisel, who also wrote the foreword to my book. He's my business coach. I worked with him to set up the business, coaching business. He has more than 4 decades of experience. And the other coach I worked with is Scott Allen, who is an author. He lives in Japan. These coaches really helped me set up the business and write the book so well because I have not done it before. I need accountability. I need somebody who can question me and my intention to ensure my action is matching with my intention.
Mm.
Otherwise, we all have intention, it doesn't get done. The action is more important than the intention.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody can have an idea, but the execution is key. You need to execute your idea and
Yeah.
achieve the goal. So, to
Yeah.
sum up, coaches help you become accountable, move from intention to action. I have seen it 100 times in my life in many goals, including running a marathon, writing a book, starting a business of my own. I have seen this in my clients as well when they have goals in doing something at work or otherwise. Coaching helps people stick to the change, stick to the transformation, and make things happen over a long period of time.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Promoter. Now, in terms of writing, are there any more publications in the future? Are you working on anything that is yet to come?
There is one of my popular courses. The course is called Communication Engineering.
Uh huh.
As you can imagine by the name itself, the course is to ensure people can engineer their communication based on the audience.
Right.
I have that course running from the last 14 months. More than 300 people have taken the live course.
Mm-hmm.
I am now in the process of converting that course into a book.
Ah.
The working title of the book is Think Like an Engineer, Talk Like an Executive. That's the working title.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a specific date when I will publish it, but whenever I do, that will be my next book, which is based on my course, Communication Engineering.
Wonderful. Something to look forward to. Thank you for sharing. You know, when I look at the work that you're doing, and particularly the title of the episode, it reminds me of a quote that I saw from arguably one of the greatest minds, if not the greatest minds, that we have ever had the experience or the pleasure of come in contact with. Not personally, but of course, the legend of the man, Albert Einstein. I believe he said, the thinking that has got me here is now the thinking that has given me some problems while I am still here. And it helps me to reflect on how you frame the things that you do, because if we think that what we knew 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 1 year ago is absolutely relevant to what we're doing now, then we can be stuck in that reptilian part of our brain that says, okay, it's just a matter of survival. But the way you seem to approach your story, and the things that you have done with regards to goal setting tells me that you have trained your mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, to be more open to a novel way of thinking, something that's new, That's unexplored, that's like virgin territory, because you recognize if we are to stay at least in step with what is happening or ahead of what is happening in our times, we need to always be conscious of our thought process and the way we think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just the impression that I get.
You got it right, Andy. Even if you look at my company name, Change Smith,
Yeah,
change is the only constant in life.
that's right.
It is always changing. We are changing every moment. So rather than resisting the change, if you embrace the change with an open mind and say, what's the adventure here? Like, what can I enjoy here? How do I embrace the change so that I don't have to resist it? That mindset itself is really exciting. In other words, if you want an analogy, a river, it is flowing, it is joining the ocean. Now, you might say the river is disappearing, but the other perspective is the river is not disappearing. The river is becoming the ocean.
Mm,
The river
yeah,
itself is becoming something big. It is becoming an ocean. So change is like that. When change comes, you embrace because you're not losing something. You are becoming something greater. In this context, a river becoming an ocean.
yeah, yeah. That's a wonderful philosophy. Now, I know that most of your clients, the majority of your clients are professionals, people involved in the engineering world, executives, and so on. But are you doing any other mentorship programs with young persons, persons that you see has potential, has ability, and what you're doing, you can now begin to nurture them at this young age so that when they get to adulthood, they have a more clearer and a more purposeful foundation upon which they can now build their lives.
I'm glad you brought that point, Andy. If people read the book in my hand right now,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
book, I have got this other feedback that this is a great book for youngsters because I talk about
Ah,
finding your goals and going behind your goals.
yeah.
A lot of people tell me that this is a great book for youngsters. In fact, I have a friend at Amazon. He's a director at Amazon in the US. He read the book. He bought a copy of my book to his daughter, who is 16.
Mm-hmm.
He said she enjoyed the book.
Right.
So my message is there is a course coming based on the book. If there's anybody who is youngster here who wants to come to the course, connect with me on LinkedIn. If you have any financial challenges, I'm happy to give you a highly discounted seat or a scholarship seat if required. I have no problem offering that. But that's the message, Andy. The way I can help youngsters is if they come to my cohort program, I can help them discover their goals at a young age and put a plan for the next 10 or 20 years to achieve their goals to make a difference to other people on this planet.
Yeah, that's profound. I applaud you. We need more of that in the world today, Pramoda. Trust me, we do. So, in terms of the people that you deal with, the executive persons and so on, how do you help them? And some people look at this differently, and I know everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You clearly say that you give people the opportunity to choose.
Mhm,
Some people struggle, Promoter, with their personal life
mhm,
in setting goals as opposed or aligned to, depending on how you look at it, their professional life.
mhm.
Do you have clients who struggle with these two and are not able to bridge them together so that they get a holistic approach with regards to goal setting? Let's say, for example.
Yes, this is a common challenge. At work, we have a manager who will keep asking us, what's the progress? Every year there is performance appraisal. So people tend to do well at work because somebody is measuring their performance. Someone is rating, evaluating, and measuring their performance. The same rigor and passion will not be applicable to personal life because there is no manager in personal life. There is no measurement. There is no evaluation. There is no performance measurement.
Yeah.
This is a common challenge. I've noticed people who have more than 10 years experience, the more they have, the worse they become, in fact. The more
Yeah.
experience they have, the worse they become in personal goal setting. They're extremely good in their organizational goals. But when it comes to personal goals, they may not have the willpower.
Mm.
So what I start with those people is what is the smallest goal they can take right now? Smallest stretch goal. It is difficult, but still achievable. We start there to see how, if there is a magic wand, you make changes to your life. What is one change in your life that can have a significant impact on your life? Then they give me the answer. It can be fitness, it can be more energy, more mindfulness, being kind, being present with their family, investing more time with their family and loved ones. We list those things. We then start looking at which can be done right now on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be 1 hour a day. Even if you do this 5 minutes a day, whether it is meditation or going for walks, working with your kids and helping them with their homework, whatever your personal goals are, we come back and say, how can you get more control in your personal domain? By doing small things consistently, they develop willpower. This willpower then gives them more opportunity to achieve higher goals, tougher goals.
Mm, yeah. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. So we've been listening to Pramoda helping us to understand what got you here won't get you there. So we'll now pause for a break. And we have a friend by the name of Phoebe Trotman. She's an ex-athlete and now she is a coach and an entrepreneur. And she has written this amazing publication called Never Quit on a Bad Day. There's Series 1 and Series 2. Series 1 deals with business professionals, and Series 2 deals with athletes. She's appeared on our sister podcast entitled Breaking Out of Depression. And now she's going to help us to advertise that just for a minute or two. We'll be right back.
Hi, friends. Phoebe Trotman here. I wanted to just thank Andy, Charles, and the team for what they're doing with their broadcast. One of the things that stood out to me is that they truly care. They are there every single Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, sharing what they have gone through, their experiences. They have guests who have gone through real challenges, and those guests are sharing what they've done to push through those challenges. But one of the things the reason I want to encourage you to tune in is because it helps you realize you're not alone. There is a community of people who care. There are people out there who've gone through challenges and they're sharing what they did to push through. And so it's a show of hope. It's a show of encouragement. It's also a show where you can learn. You can learn a tip or two to help you along your journey. So I encourage you again, tune in every single Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. They have a great lineup of guests. They share their experiences, and I know it will help you through your journey. So I wanted to wish you continued success, good health, and many blessings in 2024 and beyond.
Thank you, Phoebe, and we hope that you continue to have much success in your publication as well. So, Promoter, in terms of goal setting and goal building, I know that there are some ingredients that you would have been sharing with your clients. Does setting goals and achieving goals, if the approach is a large goal or the approach is a smaller, simpler goal, does it require the same mindset, or is there a shift because of the size of the goal?
The size is in the mind, in fact, Andy. It is not anywhere else.
Mhm.
The size is in the mind. I'll give you a specific example.
Yeah,
When I was training for a 6 mile race or a 10-kilometer race,
yeah,
from 10 kilometers, I went to 21 and then to 42. The goal seemed impossible initially because of the mind. Our mind thinks that, okay, I'm doubling the distance from 21 to 42. It's impossible.
right.
But when you work with a trained coach who is an expert in coaching you, he or she will help you break down the goal into smaller milestones.
Mm-hmm.
If there is one skill people need to learn in goal setting is break down into smaller milestones. We all overestimate what we can achieve in 12 months and we underestimate what we can achieve in 5 years. If people can learn the art of breaking into milestones and say, this year I'll achieve these small milestones, next year I'll achieve a little more and a little more, there is this power of compounding incremental effect on your goal setting muscles. This is something you have to learn by doing. No books can teach you. They can help you with ideas, they can help you with frameworks, but the internal confidence is built by doing things. Just by lifting muscles, you get dumbbells. You will not get muscles by watching the dumbbells. You can
Of
buy
course.
expensive dumbbells on Amazon or other places,
Yes.
but by watching
Yes.
the dumbbells, nobody gets muscles.
Yeah.
Same thing applies to goal setting. Apply this to your life, small milestone, achieve smaller wins, celebrate wins, and then you will know time in no time you can start achieving bigger goals because you know what to do every day.
Yeah. See, it reminds me of a story that I heard about this guy who had 300 pounds. And obviously, it was a serious health hazard for him, Pramoda. And the physicians told him if he does not lose those pounds,
Mhm.
he was going to die. And so he had to have a paradigm shift in his mind, first of
Mhm.
all. And he realized, so the goal here is for me to stay alive.
Mhm.
So he went to a dietitian, he went to a gym instructor, and everybody
Mhm.
told him what they needed to do with him individually.
Mhm.
And then he looked at his calendar and he said, you know what, 300 pounds is too much for me to focus on.
Mhm.
I'm going to focus on losing at least 1 pound per week.
Mhm.
And he said it helped him so much because as time went on, he realized that he could lose more than 1 pound per week.
Mhm.
And eventually, when he lost 150 pounds,
Mhm.
he was not even aware of the time because he still maintained, okay, it's every week by 1 pound or 2 pounds. And he kept
Mhm.
that momentum going. And eventually, he achieved and accomplished the goal. So I get it because it's the mindset that matters
Mhm.
and how you decide, listen, it's step by step we're going to get this done. It's the old adage,
Mhm.
Rome was not built in a day, it
Yeah.
took time. So I appreciate that, and we appreciate your commitment to sharing that philosophy. Now, in terms of people who are involved in sports,
Mhm.
I'm thinking about maybe a Tiger Woods or a Roger Federer. And if we're thinking lately, I'm looking at Novak Djokovic.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking about Promoter, the mindset that he has to have to, at his age, continue to be at the top of his game and win Grand Slam tournaments. The techniques that he used, I'm not aware of it personally. I don't know him.
Mhm.
But when you look at him and you assess what he's doing and you realize that it's not about his physicality, it's not about his knowledge of the game, it's not about his tennis skills so much, but it's about his mindset, the way he thinks. How do you help the clients that you have realize that it's not so much about the things that they have or the resources, but it's the way that they use them mentally that creates the opportunity for them to achieve the goals that they are setting?
Yeah. One thing I do very early in my coaching journey is with my clients, I bring this aspect of thought awareness in the sense every moment we are reacting to things the way we are thinking right now. Let's say I'm in this room, I'm recording with you. The thoughts in my mind right now, I may think things like, oh, I'm not good enough today. I'm not at the edge of my game. I'm not doing a good job as a communicator here. All these thoughts may come to me. This is common humanity. Everybody gets these thoughts. But how I process those thoughts at the moment is where the game is played. All of us, regardless of what is the performer, they all have these thoughts, but they interpret it differently. They interpret as a signal to do better because they have a high stake game. They want to do a better job. They don't use their thoughts to doubt themselves and say, I'm not good enough. I'm not trained enough. They don't use the thoughts in a negative way. They use the thoughts in a way to challenge themselves to perform better. This one aspect I keep bringing in my coaching and say, you have to realize every moment you are influenced by your thoughts in that moment. This is an important aspect, Andy, whether it is one-to-one relationship with the manager
Yeah,
employee or a team presentation, we
yeah,
all are responding to our inner world in the mind, not the outer world. We perceive the world in a way and we are reacting to that. If you can slow down that reaction time, and start responding instead of reacting.
Hmm.
It will now
Yeah.
break the pattern of habit. It will break the pattern of default behaviors or habitual behaviors. This
Hmm.
can be in a sports setup or a corporate boardroom or anywhere you want. We have to slow down and say, how am I responding to the situation? Is it because I'm habitually doing this way? Is it because I'm emotionally upset? Then you can start breaking the default behavior with the appropriate behavior. I'm giving you a broader answer here, but this can be applied
Yeah.
to anywhere. It can be in a business setup, negotiation, conversation, a sales call, a business presentation, or a public speaking setup. We are always reacting to our own thoughts internally. Constant chatter is going on. And that chatter is more negative and insidious than what other people tell me about myself. I am more critical of myself than other people. This is something people don't notice. I've seen in my 21 years of personal development and last 17 years of coaching others. People have to understand that they are their worst enemies sometimes. They are their worst critiques.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Pramoda. I want to shift gears a bit and I want to look at, I just mentioned some tremendous sport and icons there. But from your perspective, there are two that fascinate me the most. And the first one is Sachin Tendulkar, and the second one is Virat Kohli. And I look at two of them as leaders, and they're already legendary in terms of their status in the game, and their personal lives seem to be in well intact as well.
Mm.
Now, here's the thing: if you had to choose one as a mentor, and okay, I can pattern my life after him based on not just what he has accomplished, but the manner in which he went about accomplishing what he has succeeded in doing. Which one would it be? Or am I out of the zone? Is it Mahindra Singh Dhoni? I don't know. I'm just putting names out there. Promoter, help me.
Yeah. If I were to pick, I would pick Sachin Tendulkar because back when I was
Ah.
growing,
Mm-hmm.
when I was growing in India, Sachin was the player. I saw him play in my middle school, high school. I would
Ah.
definitely pick Sachin more than Virat. Virat came a little later when I was in
Yes.
college and then working, but Sachin
Yeah.
came much before. I picked Sachin because at a very young age he started playing, and that was really new back then. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
a trendsetter for so many other players who were about to come later.
Yeah.
In fact, achievement wise, they have their own achievements. They both have led a life, as you said, intact with integrity in personal life, family, and other things.
Mm-hmm.
This is not
Yeah.
easy if you have such a high
Yes.
success
Yes.
and not getting into unnecessary controversies,
Mm-hmm.
sticking to your game, leading
Yeah.
yourself is not easy. People
That's right.
easily get sidetracked, but I admire both of them. But if I were to pick, I would pick Sachin because of my background. I've grown up seeing him play. I would pick him over Virat.
Wow. He actually started, Sachin started at the age of 16.
Mm.
Very, very tender age, but also one of the age in which the propensity for and the drive for success was at its height. So I
Mhm.
think that timing was exquisite in terms of the level of success that he had. So congratulations on that pick. So we just have about 1 minute to go, promoter. So I'm gonna put up on the screen your information, and I want you to tell people how they can make contact with you for your expertise and how they can get your book, a copy of your book.
Yeah. Two things. One is I post daily on LinkedIn every morning from Monday to Friday. I post something useful to people. You can follow me there to get free content on
Right.
communication, leadership, and goal setting. The other
Yes.
option is you can go to my website, changesmith.me/audio. You can put /audio there. You can download my book for free. It's an audio book. It's a 6-hour audio book professionally recorded. If you like listening to audiobooks, you can buy the book on Amazon. It's available on Kindle as well as digital version and audio as well as print version. So you can buy the book on Amazon. The best place, if you ask me, is if to follow me on LinkedIn is the best place. The second best place is to download my book. So you get a copy of the audiobook for free.
Wonderful. So there you have it, folks. You can check it out on Amazon and you can connect with Pramoda on his LinkedIn profile. He has been an amazing and wonderful guest, and we thank him for being here. We've come to the end of this episode entitled What Got You Here Won't Get You There. We have to learn to change our thinking because change is the only constant. A famous writer also said the generation that survives is not the one that is necessarily the strongest, but the one that is most prepared to accept the process of change. Until next time, this is Andy of Andy's Personal Development together with my guest promoter saying, so long, Godspeed, God bless, Shalom, Namaste. Bye for now. Take care, guys.